Well, hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's Bigger Card reading. Today we will be doing a more open-ended question, and it will be the topic of whether you are doing the right thing. This can pertain to any situation that's happening in your life. That's why I said that it's open-ended. Like whichever issue you are facing right now that you need some guidance on, and you are of split mind whether you are handling it the right way or whether you should do something else instead. We'll explore that. So focus on your question a little bit and maybe take a couple of deep breaths and choose the pile that draws you in the most, whether it's the card itself or it's one of the rings. Just pick whichever draws your attention in, and let's explore some guidance on whether you are doing the right thing in your situation. Hello, pile one. If you chose this card over here, the Don't Turn Back card, or alternatively this ring, then this is your part of the reading, and honestly, we are starting off strong. Out of the 6 cards that I pulled for you, 4 of them are major arcana, so I'm definitely not surprised that you are finding yourself in the midst of not knowing whether you're making the right choice and whether you are on the right track, just because this seems like something huge for you. And your cards, starting off with the main card, which is the Don't Turn Back card, very heavily imply you leaving something in the past. And that's been tough on you. You are very strongly wondering whether you made the right choice in walking away from this thing. Now we'll keep it general. This thing can be anything, a person, a relationship, some kind of situation like a house, it doesn't matter. But either way, it's probably not something you expected that you would do and you would leave behind. Let's get into the cards one by one. But either way, what I'm getting at is that this is some kind of grandiose change for you. At the very least, if it's not necessarily a change that other people would perceive to be huge, it is something that's been really important in your psyche, that you're finally shedding off for some reason. But we have a couple of different motives. One of the things that a couple of cards speak about is just your hesitancy to go in that direction just because it's something new. It is something scary. And I don't want to guess whether you have already started to turn away from this thing and to walk away, or whether you are still in the situation of thinking about it. But even if you are in the situation of not having started, of still feeling your way through, trying to gather some more information, the reading heavily implies that you will take this change to leave behind the whatever thing it is. And you might be right now feeling really pessimistic about it, like you lost some kind of grand chance, or that things are not gonna get better. But that's just a feeling in your mind. There is a very heavy emphasis here that you will need to let go of an old viewpoint to see that there is something actually better beyond this thing. And again, it's going to be scary. You even got the Strength card in reverse, which is you feeling insecure about whether you can actually handle whatever the situation is, whether you're gonna come out on the other side unscattered. You can. The fears are more so in your head. You also got, like I mentioned, 4 out of 6 major arcana. You got the Moon card, and the Moon card is, on the one hand, you might feel, or you might have felt rather for some time already, this inkling that whichever this thing is that you're walking away from, you might have already had the intuitive hit that you should do this, and now it has manifested, so to say, in the front of your mind instead of the back of your mind. But you're still unsure, like you're still in the deep waters. You don't know what the road forward will exactly be. There also is the potential that part of this change will leave behind some people. I'm saying this mainly because of the Two of Cups card, which very often speaks about relationships. And like, even in the most general sense, when we make a change in our life, no matter in which arena it is, there is always some kind of people change that comes with it. It's just unavoidable, whether you are leaving behind a city, a job, a neighborhood, or flat out a relationship. The people around you change. But yeah, anywho, what I was getting at, you are still blocked, you still feel blocked in pursuing this change by your fears. This is the main message of the cards I'm seeing, and again, totally normal. We all fear change. It's just not something that's comfortable to go through. Kind of like when you are on a long drive to go on vacation or something. Not the best, especially if you have to get stuck in traffic and the whole process becomes even more painstaking. But the destination is worth it, even if the road to get there is a little bit rocky. There is something here which you might still not completely be seeing, but there is something here that this change will bring into better alignment and balance for you. It seems that there was something unfair in the previous situation you were in, the one that you are now thinking about leaving behind, and you felt that. And when you start to actually get out of it, you will feel that equilibrium start to align. I don't know how to explain it, maybe as something concrete from the everyday. But again, if we take the most basic example, that you were in a relationship where, for instance, the other person expected you to take care of all the household issues, let's say. That's the most simple thing I can think of. And maybe up to this point, you didn't really realize it, that that's an issue and that that's a burden on you. So it's kind of like, I know that there's something wrong. I know that I should make some kind of change, but I can't really pinpoint that part of the issue is that I take care of the whole household. But then you start to leave this situation, you move into something else, and then you actually feel consciously, you notice that this thing that you were doing was actually a burden. And you're just like, okay, how did I do this for so long without noticing? And then it just hits you. It's like I don't know, spark of genius, like that eureka moment, like, oh my god, was I doing this for all of this time? But definitely, I mean, it's not, again, I don't want to sound harsh or negative in any way, but it's not going to be an easy road, because it will feel like something huge. It's really giving me the sense that you didn't expect for any of this to happen. It kind of, I mean, maybe it didn't completely caught you off guard, because we oftentimes, we know that there's a writing on the wall, but we kind of just ignore it. This is again also the moon energy, where you might, in the pit of your stomach, feel that there is something wrong, but again, you can't completely pinpoint it. Like, you don't know where the issue is coming from. So it just manifests itself as this like general fear or general uneasiness or general anxiety, till that moment comes when you actually see the light of what this issue is that you need to work on. So now you might be feeling a little bit blocked, But again, I just want to reiterate, because it is really important. It is a mental issue at this point. It is not to say that down the line you're not gonna make physical changes, because those will manifest as well. But the first step for you will be to know that yes, this is necessary at this point, and you can handle it. Again, I wanna just beat this into you. You can handle it. You have the strength to handle it. You just need to take it one step at a time. And when you start to make those little changes, even if they feel unsure, even if you don't know exactly where you are going, you will start to feel you are getting out of this stagnation. Because this is your energy at the moment. Like, you are sitting under a tree, you are daydreaming, you are thinking about how everything sucks, and it is total stagnation. The same thing with the Hanged Man. Yeah, actually, because it is upside down, it doesn't look like it's hanging, it looks normal. But yeah, this is stagnation, and this is also partly self-sabotage through your negative thoughts. Not saying that you want to make things hard for yourself. No, it's just that you are hanging, like the Hanged Man, you are hanging on to something which is no longer working for you. You are like being a bit stubborn in that sense. And that's not allowing for the new thing to enter. So, Pile 1, honestly, I think I'm gonna keep it at that, because your message is really straightforward in that regard. If you are finding yourself in the situation where you are split whether you should continue in the new direction or whether you should stick with something, now is the time definitely to move on. Just do it, take it one step at a time, take it extremely slow, it doesn't matter, but know that it will pay out. The energy that you're currently in is not it's no longer working. It is stagnating. It is only draining you mentally, emotionally, physically, probably in all of your arenas in life. It is time for change. Again, it will be scary, but you're strong. You are a tough cookie. You can handle it. Okay? Like this guy. Take your backpack and just fuck off into the sunset. It will be better on the other side. Okay, Pile 1, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope it put your mind at ease, more or less, and I wish you all the luck. You've got this. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose this card with the owl right here, that says that you don't have to do this today if you don't want to. Or alternatively, if you chose this ring, then this is your part of the reading. Let's get into it. First things first, I feel like the main message for you guys regarding this issue is that you just need to relax a little bit. And I'll tell you why. So we have a couple of cards with a strong emphasis on the mind. This would be the Five of Swords on the one hand and the Queen of Swords. And the idea here is actually, let me show you the picture itself a little bit clearer. You can see how the bird, like the crow, is standing on his shoulder, and it seems like it's giving him a headache, because it's saying something which is confusing him further. I feel like you are right now mostly suffering from mind confusion and mind burnout. You are a smart person. You definitely have the ability to think deep, to think things through before doing them, and to project into the future basically what type of consequence your actions will have. This is exactly the Queen of Swords energy. Like, she is in her utmost self, when she is successful at being herself, when she is not beaten down, tired, or whatever. She is someone who can keep a calm head and who can take decisions without being emotionally involved in a way. Maybe that's not the best formulation, but basically, you are just level-headed. You have the ability to be level-headed. But there is something or someone, it might be a person, or it might be you wanting to gather all of the information before you make a decision on something, which is stirring your thoughts a little bit too much. Because information is a great resource to have. I'm not saying that it's necessarily positive to stick your head in the mud like an ostrich and just hope for things to turn out well. But sometimes especially if you have the tendency to be an overthinker, if you have the tendency to get stuck into decisions far too long before you start acting, this might be an issue. Because you can gather all of the information in the world and you will never have absolute certainty that something is going to happen in a certain way. And you might be experiencing something like that. There is just some kind of intellectual overload which is weighing you down right now. And I genuinely think, actually, let me show you this picture also before we continue. The second card that came up for you is the Devil card, and the Devil card came up in the reversed, but you wouldn't be able to see it that way. I actually don't know if it's seeable this way either. But what I'm getting at is that the Devil has this little guy over here who is again stressed and holding his head. He has strings attached to the man, like the man is basically his puppet. And the Devil in itself represents the energy of, let's say, addiction, just as a broad term. Now, it came up in the reversed position for you, which is great because it signifies that you are starting to come out of an energy of being too attached to something. But you are still not there, like you are on the verge of breakthrough, but you have a little bit more to go. And I feel like the one thing that's keeping you stuck still is that you are too tired. And I'm guessing that the logic of your tiredness is that you overexert your mind, and then that doesn't leave room for your body to do anything. I'm sure that this has happened to you before. This is something I have done, where you get so mentally stressed about something that your whole body mobilizes itself and like keeps you awake. It keeps your thoughts going. You can't relax. And then at a certain point, you just crash. And although I am pretty sure that this is not a mattress that the queen is sitting on, the first second I saw this, I felt like she was on a mattress, which is again giving me the vibe that you just need to take a little bit of a break in order to recharge. This is also the message of your main card with the owl, which is that, hey, it's fine if today you don't have the energy for this, like it's not the end of the world, maybe push it off for tomorrow. This shouldn't act, I forgot the word. This shouldn't be an excuse for you to delay this change, but at the same time, again, there is something to be said about the fact that you can't always do everything immediately. You need to find some kind of mental equilibrium before you continue. You also received the Three of Wands card in the reversed position, which is again, you are somehow being blocked in your decision-making process, and after the decision-making process, also in the taking any sort of action part of the change, because you just don't know what to do and you are afraid. And I feel like you are sort of holding yourself back from dreaming in this situation. I really feel that maybe your rational mind is also keeping you in this state just because you are a little bit over rationalizing everything. And not saying that you should necessarily hope that tomorrow you will be walking on the street and a bag of money is gonna fall into your lap just because. Maybe that's a little bit out there, a little bit extreme. But at the same time, if you are being too pragmatic, I would even say you are being pessimistic because you are trying to confine yourself to the things that your mind at this point can imagine, this can dampen your energy as well. Because oftentimes, at least I, as a classic overthinker, have felt this way in the past. You can only imagine things based on your current knowledge and your current experiences. So, if you are, I don't know, working on some kind of new project and you don't know how that project is going to take off the ground, and this is worrying you. This is the issue at hand, you don't know how to proceed, so you are just stuck in limbo. But the thing is that if you haven't committed to a course of action, you might not know that at step 3, let's say, some kind of new information or some kind of new circumstance or another person or what have you might come in and actually open more doors for you. And this might fix the issue at the moment. So like you have this issue now that you don't know how you're gonna fix, but instead of fixing it, you actually start doing things, you start moving forward, and then at step 5, somehow this thing disappears. Like you meet someone and they guide you through that problem. They say, oh, this is actually really simple. I used to deal with it like 5 years ago. I know how you can do it. I hope that this was understandable, but I feel like this might be a part of the issue. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg scenario. Which came first? Which came second? Like, should I firstly know what I'm supposed to do? Or should I firstly fix something? Or should I just start doing it and hope for the best? It is always case specific, but in your case, I feel like the first issue is your mind. It is overloaded with information. You need to let it relax a little bit and let it to freely roam. Maybe stop thinking about how things are exactly going to happen and instead do like these guys over here. It's almost summer, like it's nice weather for the most part. Hang up a hammock in your backyard or somewhere in the park if you are German, let's say. Or, I don't know, go to the beach. Just lay on your back, maybe with a friend, which is always helpful. And allow yourself to dream a little bit and to get into the positive energy of actually imagining good things for a change. And remind yourself that if things don't happen immediately, that's not the end of the world. You have some time to do this. It's not nothing in your cards is giving me the vibe that you need to do something immediately. The only immediate thing that you need to do is relax your mind. And I feel like this is the thing that you don't want to do at this point. This is the thing that you are putting off inadvertently, not to say that you are enjoying being restless or being in an overthinking energy, but I feel like you are attached to it in the sense that you might feel that if you stop doing that, if you maybe allow the dreamer energy to take over you for a little while, that you will get off track, that it will stop your progress, that you will never move towards this thing that you want to move towards. And this is simply not true. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you don't have to be in a fearful state in order to be motivated. Like, your motivation is not coming from there, and your ability to act is not coming from there. When you are stressed, granted, you might be motivated to immediately do something, but this is not something you can sustain. When you get rid of the issue, when you get rid of the anxiety, of the fire that's lit up under your ass because you need to do something immediately, you might actually find that you have more energy to spend on the thing that you're chasing. It just comes from a calmer place, and that's not a bad thing, honestly. Again, in times of crisis, we might be able to mobilize our whole army, like our mind, our body, our everything. But then at a certain point, you're gonna crash. And I feel like this is what this energy is trying to teach you, at least as a first step in moving towards whatever you are going towards. You need to get some rest. Like, again, you are on the verge of actually doing something, progressing somehow, but you still need a little while, and this for you will be to embrace that energy of relaxation. Okay? Like the Spaniards say, mañana. My favorite word, I will do it tomorrow. Embrace this energy a little bit. It truly will help you. Again, it doesn't have to be for a year or for a decade. Maybe just for a day, maybe for a week. It's perfectly fine. Just try it out and let me know how it goes, okay? Maybe you'll be surprised. So yeah, pile 2, this is more or less it. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck in relaxing. Well, hello, pile 3. If you chose the fall down on the couch card, or alternatively we have this lion earring over here, then this is your part of reading. Let's get into it. And I would say that the theme for your reading is overcorrection. Let me elaborate. So starting off with the card you chose at the start, the fall down on the couch card, your pile, kind of similar to pile 2, is very much giving the sense of you running yourself down ragged. There is some kind of deep exhaustion that's starting to gather up inside of you, but the reasons with you seem to be different than pile 2, and also the way you do it, I feel like, is different. So let me explain a little bit. One of the cards that came up for you, actually the only card which is not reversed in this case, is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups card oftentimes speaks about our past, and specifically having some kind of nostalgia towards the past. You can see how the guy is sitting with his dog and he is imagining a better time when they were young, when life was ahead of them. This card doesn't have to be negative or positive per se, but in combination with the other cards that came up for you, I strongly believe that there is something in your past which happened in whichever way it happened, or maybe nothing happened, and this is where the issues stem from. And you are now trying to overcorrect it, like you're trying to correct it in order to feel okay with it, but you are taking it to the point of overcorrection. And you are burning yourself out in doing this. I wanna say, because 2 of the cards that you received are pentacle cards, I really feel like you might be overworking yourself, like literally. I mean, you might be overworking yourself in your job, like trying to achieve some kind of material stability or some kind of social status, which will guarantee that you feel okay with yourself and feel stable. Again, it is a general reading. At the end of the day, it might not be that. But whether it is specifically material career related or not, the feeling of all of the cards that came up for you speak about overcorrection and burnout. You received also the Nine of Wands in the reversed position, which, similar to the Six of Cups, can speak about you hanging on too strongly from to something from the past, some kind of old story, maybe again something which didn't pan out for you exactly the way you wanted to. And there might be also the additional message of you keeping your walls up. Like, this is literally the card of I have a fence around me which serves as my defense. Like, I am ready to fight. I am prepared to receive whatever comes at me, which is a great thing to be able to do. It's great to have that type of strength. But sooner or later, you need to let people in, and you need to yourself get out of your own castle. If not, things get quite perverted. And I feel like you are finding yourself right now at the point where you are stuck behind your own walls. Again, I don't want to speculate what brought these walls because it will be different for everyone. But whatever it is something from the past which triggered this need in you to defend yourself, and also to do everything in your power in order to fix it, or in order to not let such a feeling happen to you again. Because this is about a feeling. This is about the feeling of regret over something. And maybe you are still not at the point where you are seeing that you are really close to a type of burnout. Because you received the Four of Swords card reversed. The Four of Swords is the burnout card. It is the card that you need to take a stop. You need to, again, lay down a little bit, similar to Pile 2, but again for different reasons. Because if you continue going this way, something is gonna give out. Not saying that you're gonna get sick or anything, but burnout, I mean, I don't know that I can say that it's a real thing, because I don't think it is. It's separate diagnosis within the DSM, for instance. But as an experience, it is something real. Whether you receive burnout because you are putting your body through too much stress, or whether you are going to go to a burnout state because your mind is not feeling well, because you are in a sort of depression, or you are in a state of anxiety, it doesn't matter. Burnout in itself can be a real symptom. And again, because it came up reversed for you, I honestly feel like you're still not at the point where you have truly seen that your state can go in that direction. But if you continue overworking yourself and relying only on yourself, this is where things will start to head. Now, as to the Pentacle cards that came up for you, we have two of them. We have the Two of Pentacles and also the Knight of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles speaks about excess, and in this case it is excess of responsibility. So you are trying somehow to juggle too many things, and inevitably you will start to let shit fall to the ground. This has probably already started to happen because of its reversed position. Maybe you are already starting to see that you don't have enough hands to handle everything. There is just not enough hours in the day sometimes. And there is something to be said here again, especially because this is the card that came up after the Nine of Wands. There is something to be said about you needing to open up a little bit towards the help of other people. Again, it seems that you are standing behind walls at this point, and you are not letting the help of outside forces in. And this is not helping you. Like, you might feel that you are in control and that everything is contained. And that way, you know, at least if I'm only relying on myself, it is whatever I can do. I don't have to rely on the probability of someone else doing something the right way. But again, you are only one person, like you can't realistically do everything. And the other thing with the Knight, in this case, on the one hand, it is possible that you are too focused on work. It can manifest itself as workaholic energy. On the other, it could be that you are feeling stagnant at this point, because generally, even in the upright position, Pentacle energy is slow. It is slow and steady wins the race. So you can't rush it. You just have to take it one step after the other. But in your case, coming up in the reverse position, that energy is even more slowed down. Or at least to you, it seems like everything is happening extremely slow, or maybe that is not happening at all. And maybe this is further fueling this need of yours to control things more tightly, to take on more responsibilities on your plate. And if you continue this cycle again, the only thing that can come out of this energy at the moment is a crash and a burnout. So pile 3, I would honestly keep it short with you guys, similar to pile 1. Your message is quite pointed. Whatever you are doing, if you are asking whether it's the right thing to continue in this direction, to torture yourself into some kind of hyper work modus in order to fix some kind of regret you have from the past, this is not the way to go. Like, you might make 3 months of normal people progress in 1 month, but if you then, I don't know, stretch a muscle, let's say, you work out at the gym because you wanna lose weight for summer and you have 20 kilograms to go, or like 50 pounds, and you decide, okay, I'm gonna eat at 1,000 calorie deficit every day because I don't want to feel like last summer when I was a fat whale on the beach. So now I'm gonna not eat. I'm gonna train 5 times a week or 7 times a week, like every day or twice a day, who knows. You might make progress that a normal person with a normal schedule would make in 3 months. You might make it 1 month, but then on the second month you go into the gym, you I don't know, you stretch your muscle, or you fall on the treadmill, or something happens, and then when that break is enforced onto you, you can't do anything. Like, you are burnt out, you are powerless, and all of the positive changes that you might have forced up to this point, you will now lose that progress time-wise. So it's kind of like the hare and the tortoise. That's not how you pronounce that word, but either way, it is, you need to take things slower, and you need to let a little bit of outside help. If you are not doing this, you are not doing the right thing, definitely. And if you are already in the trenches of feeling this exhaustion building up for you, because this is exactly exhaustion in your case, and if you are wondering whether you should start letting a little bit of your responsibilities fall onto someone else's shoulders, then definitely now is the perfect time to do this, so you can clean out the energy of this potential exhaustion and burnout that's heading your way. Okay, yeah, this is it. So pile 3, please go and lay down on the couch a little bit. You deserve it, okay? Okay. Someone else can do it, not you. Good. I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck.